Welcome to our March, wow, it's hard to believe, this is our March Musicians on Mission, and we have thoroughly enjoyed this program, and we have a special treat tonight because we have a returning professor, Professor Goldstein, and we have thoroughly enjoyed the last performance with Crystal and Professor Goldstein, and this is a special treat when we get to have somebody back. So thank you very much for both coming on this very rainy, cold night, and we welcome you and turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so thankful that you are here in this kind of very rainy night. And today I'm so honored and happy to have the chance to grab my professor from the airplane from DC to here, and he agreed to present another concert with me. And we are bringing a program, three pieces by three different composers, Beethoven, Brahms, and Chopin. So first, actually four composers. The first one is by Bach. We're going to open with this piece, and then next we're going to talk a little bit more about the pieces that we prepared. So please enjoy. So next piece is my solo playing. I'm going to do another sonata by Beethoven. I've played Hammerklavier here, and this time I'm bringing actually the earliest sonata written by Beethoven. This is his opus number 2, opus 2 number 1, and even though this is like the earliest published piano sonata by Beethoven, it is already in a very sophisticated style of writing. And he has been exploring many, many things, and he has been trying to break many rules in the classical music world. For example, this piece has not traditionally 3 movements, but it has 4 movements as a symphonic writing. And then this piece, 4th movement, the tempo marking says partissimo, which means very fast as it can be. It's like anything cannot get faster than this speed. The 32 sonatas, we refer like the 24 preludes and fugues by Bach as the Old Testament in piano work, and then the 32 sonatas by Beethoven is actually the New Testament. So today I'm going to do the beginning of the New Testament for you, and I hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone, it's nice to be back. So Crystal said so beautifully that she kind of grabbed me, but what she didn't tell you is that basically she wanted me to turn the pages. And I guess play something. So the next piece on the program is a scherzo by Chopin. Crystal said so beautifully how the 48 preludes of and fugues by Bach, the two books are the Old Testament, and the 32 Beethoven sonatas are the New Testament. So after 32 sonatas, and you got the really privilege to hear Crystal playing the first sonata as well as the 29th, the Hammerklavier. Out of the 32, the 29th is the hardest, one of the hardest pieces ever written for any instrument. After 32 sonatas, you can imagine the Romantic generation, Mendelssohn, Schubert, Chopin, Schumann, Liszt. Good luck writing a piano sonata. It's just intimidating. It's just, let's just try something else. And Schumann is writing these character pieces, the Carnival, comprised of 21 short little miniatures. And then Liszt is writing all these tone poems, again, a kind of a type of a miniature. And then Mendelssohn is writing songs without words. And then Schubert is writing songs with words. 600 of them. And Chopin, maybe the father of the whole genre of the miniature, the mazurkas, the preludes, the polonaises, the etudes, the waltzes, all of these little miniatures which have a whole world inside, I guess salon pieces. The scherzi that he wrote are kind of an attempt to write a larger scale work. It's still not a piano sonata, but it's a 10-minute work, but it's also not a 2-minute waltz or 3 minutes waltz or mazurka. So it has a greater proportion. Now the scherzo usually fits inside the second or the third movement of the symphony or the sonata, just to make it, there's a fast, slow, fast usually, but this is fast, slow, and then a scherzo movement and fast. But Chopin liberated the scherzo from being part of a sonata or a symphony. He took it and made it into a self-sustained work by itself. Scherzo basically means joke. Nothing about Chopin's scherzi has anything to do with a joke. It's an ABA, which basically means that the A section will come back after the B section, but it doesn't really mean much. Chopin really was a composer that wanted to write music for music's sake. He didn't put names for the pieces, unlike Schumann, who called this piece Carnival and this piece Davidsbündler and this piece Symphonic Etudes. No. Music has its own place. It doesn't need to tell, my story. And that's in the time of 19th century where, it's look at my story. I'm the individual artist. I have so much to express that you have to listen to how I feel. And Chopin was, no. The music stands on its own. Doesn't need to tell my story. But he was born in Poland, a country that was always searching for its own identity, always occupied by Prussian Empire or the Russian Empire or the Austro-Hungarian Empire, always searching for its own identity. And at the age of 21, he moved to Paris. And you can get out of Poland, but Poland will never get out of you. So, all his life he was, longing to his country. And there's a lot of turmoil in the music, maybe suggesting that the war or the search and struggle for finding one's own identity. And there's always a very peaceful, beautiful section. Maybe that's a hope for a better future. Maybe that's longing for the past. Each will make his own story. Is this what Chopin meant? He doesn't want us to know. He just wants us to enjoy the music and really be immersed by a very profound and moving piece. So here's the Scherzo number 2, written when Chopin was 27 years old in 1837. Thank you. thank you. Before playing for you the last piece on the program, which will be Hungarian Dance by Brahms, I just wanted to say a few things about this whole year that we've all been, I think, challenged in so many different ways. For us artists, for me personally, to go from playing 80 concerts a year to playing 0 concerts is very awkward. And I've been obsessed with making it the most beneficial year for my students. And one of the challenges we put for ourselves is to record all 32 Beethoven sonatas. And I have 9 students, and everyone went and signed up his favorite sonata. And also Crystal went up and signed 4 sonatas, including Hammerklavier and 3 others. And then we had another challenge, which will come next month, which will be to play Ravel side by side with commissions from composers from the UMKC. So we commissioned 50 new pieces. And we also did indoor concerts, outdoor concerts, live stream concerts. And one of the other challenges I give my students is to start kind of a concert series in the community. We have to abide by the rules, we have to wear the mask, we have to have social distance, all is right, but let's try to find a way to make music. And I guess all this introduction, what I'm trying to tell you is, so Crystal started 2 concert series, one that we played this morning and one is this one, just basically just to be able to give music to the community without any charge of anything, and just music always has to be here with us. It's such a gift that we were given, and let's share it. And between these concert series that she created, and there's a festival that I started in Florida, which the idea of bringing music to schools. So it was in Florida and we could only do it online. So Crystal was doing 15 concerts online to schools in Florida. And in October we did it in Kansas City, so she had 7 concerts then. And in addition to the outdoor and indoor and the 4 Beethoven sonatas and the Hammerklavier and playing for you and the new sonatas she just learned right now, it's one of those people that you plant a seed and suddenly you have a field of flowers. So Crystal, unbelievable. What a privilege for you that she comes and she does this concert series here. I think it's amazing, and what a privilege for me that she's in my studio and I can brag about her as much as I want. Thank you so much.
I think we are going to do a small question and answer as usual. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Why are these in minor rather than major? Or is there such a thing as major?
Well, this you mean particular Hungarian dance?
Well, no, the other three that you played also were in minor.
In a very general form, I mean, in the Romantic era, romantic, expressing something in minor has, I guess, something of a sadness, of more deep feeling. I guess part of romanticism is where feeling is taken into an extreme, and to a large extent, composers in the Romantic era felt they could do it more naturally in minor. Having said that, Schubert was able to make major even sadder than minor. But of course, these are general terms. It's just there is something about music written in Romantic era, 19th century, that they were searching for that minor key. And when you look at the Mozart concerto in D minor or C minor, the first one, it's already romanticism there. But there's some, I guess, about the profound feeling of a minor and the sadness of it. But these are board terms because there's so many major keys. Romantic. Come on, last time there was so many more questions. Yes.
What's the longest duet piece that you guys have played together?
Well, she doesn't want to play with me too much. So the longest we ever played, 3.5 minutes, I think. No, I mean, we need sometimes some music together.
No, that's a question of pressure on me. How many pieces should I learn now?
Crystal has a goal of 20 pieces a year. Her schedule, don't comment. Her schedule starts at 6 a.m. where she picks me at the hotel at 5:52, so we can be at the piano at 6 each in different rooms, and then she usually goes to sleep at, well, she starts unwinding at 10:30 p.m. And, literally there's no 1 minute wasted in that day. So, I mean, incredible. What else to do when you're so young? But she expects me to do the same. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's terrific. But there are duet pieces, Schubert duet pieces, which are 35 minutes long. Maybe she does next time. You see?
No, maybe.
So, anyway, yes.
What is it that you teach students of Crystal's level? What does she need to improve on, or what is it that you teach that she needs?
Crystal has a huge problem that she's so good. When you are not so good, it's much easier. Because it's not going to go anywhere anyway. But the better you are, the more difficult it is. And she will be the first to admit. Maybe not in the first few lessons where we had, but in more lessons, it just felt, it's this year we actually had a few lessons which were truly painful, where you suddenly go deep into a certain piece where that element in the music doesn't come from playing softer or slower or louder. No, that's either you are able to put yourself into a state of mind. I remember a wonderful lesson on, I'm sure she played it for you. And it's such a moving, it's only 1 page. So what should I play? Oh, play slower. No, play softer. That's not it. So I remember painting a picture where you came to a point of life where all the life you thought existed does not exist. It was alive. It was something where you get into a state of mind where your imagination creates the impossible, creates something that is it doesn't have time, it doesn't have dynamic, it just has a certain emotion. And then she played it and it hurt. It was so hurting. like when you read a book which is so profound and suddenly teaches about you certain things. So, in broad terms, I'm trying to ask her the questions she should ask herself. I try to help her be her own teacher. I try her as much as I want. I always tell her, Krista, I really want to keep you next to me all the time. Try to make her as independent as possible from me. And it would be so painful for me. But, that's kind of the ultimate goal. And then, and then those kind of lessons. Also, when she played the hammer clavier in the third movement, where it's like a 20-plus minute movement, where you're losing yourself. You're already playing for almost half an hour. And now you're getting into a 20-minute thing. And after that, you're going to have another fugue, so mentally, you already know you're going to die soon. But how do we survive that? I mean, it's everything that is beyond words, that music takes you into these places where, she's now learning this sonata, which I cannot wait for her to share it with you, because that's a life-changing piece as well. And she started the piece, and I told her, Chopin wrote everything that was possible for the piano. This was everything that was not possible for the piano. The concept of don't play piano, just create something that we've never heard before. And that's what Liszt was after. It's not that he's better than Chopin. It's just Chopin was writing for piano. Liszt wasn't writing for piano. He was trying to bring up the supernatural, the mythological, the unreal, something. What do you need to ask yourself to come to a place that no one ever been? That is so scary that no one will ever attempt, but you're bringing the devil for it. And so there's a lot of, imagination that art brings to us, which is a good book or a good play or a good piece of music. And then she goes and she's starting to have in her mind how we're going to bring disciplines together with music and dance and acting and filming and, so that's why I say, okay, I put the seed, but she makes a whole field of flowers now for this, and that's, wow. What a privilege for me to be on her journey. You see, you just ask a question, I'll talk for half an hour. Yes.
You said before the pandemic you were doing 80 concerts a year. You see that coming back and how quickly?
Quickly, for sure not. It's not going to come back. I mean, yesterday I got an engagement to play in Bogota, Colombia on June 4, and then June 9 I'm learning the Liszt Sonata. She's creating concert series. She's recording, you know, his music. She has now a Scarlatti CD that she's recording for the Naxos label. So she's now learning 20 sonatas by Scarlatti. And she needs to go to Vienna and be there for 2 months in a very, very, very prestigious summer school where they only invite 8 people from around the world to spend time with the most prestigious teachers from all around. And she's not only one of the participants, but she's actually organizing things over there and coordinating. And you just have to take me, I'm your PR. I will be a walking PR for you. But, you know, she does it with her own 10 fingers and a very bright brain. And nothing for granted and nothing is a charity. It's all a lot of hard work and determination. And the 2 words I told her when she camps that she has to understand. One is consistency. Like for whatever she does, she has to be consistent. You come to me at 5:52, you know, to take me to the hotel every day. Not 3 days and then we're tired. And the other thing is patience. You have to be consistent, you have to be patient. And it's not always easy for her. Because, you know, being bright and brilliant, one thinks, hey, why is it not happening right away? But everything has its own time and tempo. But it will happen, and it does happen. Actually faster than anywhere else I've seen. So,
Okay.
yes, Krista, you want to say something?
No, I just want to say thank you for coming. Okay.
How is a lesson with me?
Very, very good. Inspiring.
In what way?
Every time I'm building a new level of knowledge and actually getting to know myself more. Every time we dig into a piece. I mean, so far you're having a high score.
You realize the pressure I am in every time. But it's incredible how music teaches you more about yourself all the time. And you know, the pieces you learn, just how much deeper you dig inside. Yes.
Do you have insurance on your amp?
No, I don't. I probably should. But I don't have any chairs on my hands. No, I was asked that a few times. I mean, I probably should. I'm not sure why I don't.
And because it's your livelihood,
Yeah.
and if something happens to a thumb or something happens to your arthritis or something, what do?
My teacher was the legendary musician Leon Fleischer, a truly American cultural icon, and he actually injured his right arm, right hand, from over practicing. And in his mid-30s, he had to revert to mastering the left-hand repertoire, which is not really small. It's not the repertoire that he was associated with, which was Beethoven and Brahms and Mozart and Schubert. And then he just devoted all his life to teaching. But it is true. It's, you know, but I cannot imagine not playing. I'm sure he could imagine not playing as well. Yeah. We'll see. It kind of makes me think when I live in DC and every 2 weeks, you know, I fly here. Not only now, since September I fly here every 2 weeks. And oh, you're so great. I don't feel brave at all from doing it. I just feel like I cannot not be with my students. So, you know, I try to live a healthy lifestyle and wear my mask and come here. And, so in terms of insurance, I don't know if it's smart or not smart. I just try to protect myself. And I am very lucky. My first teacher, when I was very young, she made me extremely aware of my body when I played. Like the act of playing piano, I find is extremely easy. To think about it is tiring intellectually and mentally, but the physicality of playing, I remember her going around me and kind of lightly touching the 3 important joints, the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. So I kind of developed a certain awareness of
Thank you very much.